What's up, YouTube? It's Matt here. So I'm doing this video is a lot different than what I do. Like so, this is most of the time this is going to be a gun channel and some prepping and stuff like that too. But I also wanted to talk about a subject that's always puzzled me. I've had a history with this subject personally, and I think it's kind of a cool subject to talk about. So this is my history and UFO sightings. That's right, guys. So ever since I was a kid, I remember I was a kid. We were going to my grandmother's house. It was the first sighting I've ever had, and it was actually a meteor shower. This is actually in Hebron, Connecticut, and it's a really dark area. There's not a whole lot of cities in that area. So we're just looking up into the sky, no big deal. And I remember looking up the sky. It's a clear day. You're seeing meteors going. It's a massive meteor shower, and then I don't know. I just caught myself looking up, like directly straight up in the air, and I noticed what looked like a light. Almost, I can only explain it as zigzagging through the stars. I think that's remember how I explained it. I'm like, yeah, look, there's something zigzagging through the stars. And it almost looks like it was like a ping pong thing, like almost bumping off stars. Not quite, but and I always thought it was kind of weird, and that always perplexed me. I was always puzzled by it, and I've always thought about it when in my adult life, and I was like. Remember that one time when I was a kid, I was like 10 or 9 years old, and I remember seeing that? I remember my dad saying, oh, that's just a satellite. But I remember clearly, even then, I knew that a satellite, if it's traveling through the sky, it goes straight in one direction, kind of like an airplane, not zigzagging and making weird turns and stuff like that, like it's actually being piloted. So that always stuck with me. That first sighting always stuck with me. And then when I was in the military, I was actually in the Marine Corps. I was deployed in Iraq, did 2 tours out there. And, what I do every now and then is I was holding a watch. I love doing it at night because we'd have night vision goggles. I had the, PVS 14s, I think is what's called. The ones that go with the two lenses. There's one eye, but it goes over the 2 lenses. I'd be doing a watch, and randomly I'd just kind of look up at the star, or it'd be racking out for the night, in our sleeping bag or in our fighting hole. And just for the hell of it, I'd throw on my NVGs and stare at the stars. And I love doing it because doing that, you can really see, like, shooting stars and stuff like that, and it's just always been cool. I mean, if you think you see shooting stars and you look up the skies, try putting night vision goggles on, and I mean, it's just like, holy crap! I mean, it's just like non-stop. But I remember specifically twice this actually happened. The first time it happened, this is in Iraq, I'm just like staring up. We didn't get much sleep, I was tired and everything else, but I was looking at the sky, and I remember seeing a couple shooting stars. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool. And then out of nowhere, I saw one light come up, stop, and just sit there. I was just like, okay, that was kind of weird. Maybe I'm just a little tired, or whatever. And then out of nowhere, it just zoomed off and went in different directions. And that's when I'm like, holy crap, what just happened? I didn't know if it was a drone. Drones don't move that fast. Oh, yeah. He's helping me here. And that was the first time I saw it. The second time, it was similar. It was the fact that it was just like moving slowly. Very, very slowly, no sound or anything, which all of them have, and it just veered off, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? It was kind of crazy. And then when I got out of the Marine Corps, guys, like I said, this has always been, it's something I've always enjoyed. I like ufology and stuff like that. I like the unexplained. I enjoy stuff like that. Now, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I actually worked security for a couple of years. I was doing I was a patrol supervisor, and so I was traveling between sites all night long. And it was out in the middle of Arizona, and I loved it. That's when I lived in Arizona. I wish I could move back right now. But I was out there, and it's just beautiful. This is over at Scottsdale, Arizona. Actually, Cave Creek, Scottsdale area. It's more along the lines of Scottsdale area. It was kind of by a Scottsdale Golf Club. I had this site that I do, True North Golf Club. And there's all kinds of communities in there, and I just drive around, and you're patrolling, so you're going really slow. I saw a lot of animals too, and snakes and all other stuff. But I saw on various occasions UFOs. A lot of people are like, look, UFO means unidentified flying object. If something's in the sky and it is doing something that doesn't normally happen and you cannot identify it, it is a UFO, all right? Unidentified flying object, all right? Now, I remember it was actually my lunchtime, lunch in the middle of the night. I would just sit down in the car, I'd just stand up, I'd park by a construction site. This was up in one of the hilly areas. I don't remember exactly which community it was, but it was a big construction site actually on a hill, so you could actually look over the valley and you could actually look at Arizona, Phoenix. And I was up there just enjoying it and having like a sandwich, or I don't remember what it was. Really. And then I noticed in the distance, 3 lights just literally appeared. They almost kind of swarmed together and just stopped in one section. There's 3 different lights, and I was just staring at them like, did I just see that? Maybe I haven't had enough coffee. I actually poured another cup of coffee thinking it was just, I was late. Maybe I was tired. I was sitting there staring at them, like, this is probably just stars. I probably just, my eyes turning into it, my glasses, reflections, whatever it was, and whoever it was. And I was sitting there staring at it, and I'm like, it's just kind of odd because they're in a weird place, and I've never really seen them there. This is where I eat every night. So I'm just watching and just eating my lunch and drinking more coffee. And then out of nowhere, I see the first light, the one that was on the top, like I said, one was on the top, shot straight up. I think it was shot in other different directions. I almost dropped my coffee. I mean, it scared the crap out of me. It was like, holy, whoa. Okay, I know I just saw that. And then there was another one. It was actually the same site I was on, True North. So when you're patrolling in the middle of the night and the buildings are spread out, you're going 10 miles an hour, if that, 5-10 miles an hour. You're just looking around for animals, make sure you're not hitting it, and you're looking in the sky because it's something to do. Well, I came across one. I was actually having to go up a hill in the car I was in. And I was looking up, it's a pretty steeper hill that was in one of the communities that you had to get up to. It was, I think, Talus community. I don't remember exactly which community it was. So we started going up the hill, and you're angled towards the sky, and I'm just kind of looking, and out of the corner of my eye, I caught something metallic, and I didn't think much of it. I'm like, because I wear the glasses, so I was like, maybe a light came in and hit that. But then I looked up, and I saw it clear as day, and I mean, I can only explain it as an egg, like a backwards egg, almost. That's the only way I can explain it. I can just see it just slowly moving in the sky, and I even stopped the car. I'm like, what? I stopped the car, and I'm just watching, and it just slowly moves, and then it just disappears. I was just like, okay, what did I just see? And, that one I was like, I don't know, maybe, who knows what it was, but it was very odd, very, very odd, all right? So I've had a history of seeing these throughout my life. I mean, I saw another one a little while ago. It was actually in the backyards of the kids. My wife thought I was crazy, naturally, but she always thinks I'm crazy when I say stuff like this. But we were outside, and, I'm outside with the kids, the sun's starting to go down, and it's just starting to get a little bit darker. And then I noticed out of nowhere, there's just a light that just shined, like literally just came to like that and just stopped in the middle of the sky. I was like, okay. I'm like, well, it's getting later, maybe it's the first star of the night, but it wasn't dark enough. There was no, there just wasn't there. And I was just sitting there, and it was just sitting there, it wasn't doing anything. It was kind of like an orangey color. And I was just watching it for a little bit, watching the kids, look back up, and it just wasn't moving. And then I was like, all right, it's probably just a star or whatever. And then I bring the kids inside, and then I have to take the dog out right afterwards. So I go out there and I go to take a look where it was, and it's gone. I mean, it's just completely gone. I mean, it's like it just flew off or disappeared. I don't know, guys. It was just so weird. It said unidentified flying object. It was very weird. And now there's a lot of reports that people talk about this. And I've been saying it for the last week, believe it or not. In the last week, we've been out in. We've had a series of like explosions in the air. I mean, just explosions, and there was no thunderstorms, there was no nothing. I wasn't sure. At first I thought it was kids throwing stuff in the river, but that was only on one occasion I actually saw kids doing it. But it was just like boom. It was like thundering explosions. I mean, to the point where I walked outside, my neighbor walked across the side. He's like, "Did like a transformer blow up or something?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "But our lights are still on, so that probably isn't it." And we just kept hearing the booms, and they were loud. I mean, the only thing that I could, I told my wife, I'm like, the only thing this could be is either there's like a rogue thunder blast or something like that, or something's breaking the sound barrier in the sky, and that's the only thing I could explain. It was just boom. You're like, holy crap! It's like a point you could feel it in your stomach like an explosion. And my daughter heard it. She's like, oh, what was that? I mean, it wasn't a car accident, and we're on a road, but we could see everything that's in that. There was no car accident. There was, nothing. And there was no thunder. And it was just like, what the heck was it? I don't know what it is, guys. Comment below if you have an explanation for anything like that. It was just weird when it happened. But, it's like I've had a history in my life of doing this. A lot of people, they're the skeptics and, oh, that'll never happen, It's like, I've never seen one a day in my life. Let me ask you one quick question. How often do you look at the sky? Yeah. I mean, if you look, there's a really good channel, guys. I'm gonna suggest this channel. If you like guys like this stuff, you might even be members of it or subscribers to it. But Secure Team 10, guys, is an awesome channel. I mean, he brings up all these UFO sightings and stuff like that too, and it's similar stuff that I've seen in my past that I've like that actually kind of he shows videos that, like I said, the first one was Zigzag. He actually had a guy with night vision goggles or like night vision camera or whatever looking at it. It was almost the exact same thing that I saw. I'm like, you know, it confirms exactly what I just saw. You know, I saw as a kid. You know, that's always been in my head. You know, and it's a really good channel to follow. There's a lot of good channels out there to follow when it comes to ufology and stuff like that. You know, but I am going to ask the skeptics. I'm like, to the skeptics out there, I'm like, how often do you honestly look at the sky? I mean, seriously. I mean, so many people go about our everyday lives just stuck in our phones and not paying attention to anything except what's going on in front of us. Have you ever actually looked up at the sky in the middle of the night or even during the day? I mean, there's some weird stuff that you'll see. There's honestly weird stuff. It's not chemtrails, which are a real thing, guys. You know, I can tell the difference between the vapor trail and the chemtrails, all right? There's a very big difference. There's stuff like that in the sky. There's, you know, strange lights that come out of nowhere, especially at night when you're doing it. You know, I live close to an airport, so I know when the planes are coming in. You can hear them coming in because they're coming low on approach. Well, so you can see them coming in, and you see all this other stuff. You have the helicopters, and then you have the silent stuff that are flying in the sky. But, you know, and I know the difference between a satellite, the ones that are just moving across the sky at a steady pace, and the ones that are moving and make weird turns, you know, and those turns aren't normal turns, you know, there's all different, you know, people are like, oh, well, maybe it's, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, or it's a craft that's being flown by something, all right, whether it's us or it's someone else, I don't know, guys. But I'm telling you guys, there is stuff that's going on in the world. Now, another thing I want to leave this with is, like I said, I've been a man of faith, you know, I've been a man of faith and everything else. But you really got to think about this for a second. Our satellites can only see our satellites and telescopes can only see a tiny bubble of space around our planet. It is a tiny bubble. The universe is unlimited. There's no end to it, guys. So you're going to tell me that with the endless universe, that there is only us in life that are moving around, walking around, moving around, breathing, doing stuff. The entire universe, all right? I mean, it's for almost every star you see, you think about it, almost every star you see, there could be planets and moons surrounding it. And you're telling me that in this vast nothingness, it's just this one tiny little planet that has life on it, all right? There's something else out there, guys, whether you believe it or not, all right? So, but anyway, guys, I just wanted to share this with you because, you know, it's one of the things I like talking about is I have hobbies with this. Well, not quite hobbies, but I enjoy it. I like stargazing. I like seeing stuff like that. Now, I've seen some crazy stuff in my life that I can't explain, all right? You know, I've even seen when I was stationed at a base shoot satellites off into space, and we're like, whoa, we shoot satellites out here? And we're just like, we fire satellites into space out here? And we were told, oh, don't worry about it. We're not going to talk about this or anything like this. It's over in 29 Palms. And it just happened to launch from the area that's a restricted area where it's because of there's extinct or endangered bats out there that no one's allowed out there, yet there's so much traffic going in and out of there. So it's like, I try to look at things skeptically, but I have an open mind about it when it comes to it, all right? So there's the skeptics, and then there's people that refuse to believe anything, all right? There's a big difference. But anyway, guys, I hope you like this video. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about me, guys. Remember, it's our responsibility to take care of each other and protect each other. And you know what, guys? Once you look at the stars, too, I bet you'll enjoy it, all right? Peace.